We're at the 50th ACI Congress, and today e-forex would like to welcome David Woolcock, Senior Director and Head of Bank Sales for fxall. Welcome, David. David, tell us a little bit about fxall and what you do.
Well, fxall is the #1 and largest multi-bank portal in the business, and we offer various platforms to clients where they get a wide range of choice of execution. The principal one for which we're well known is our relationship trading platform. There we are bringing together liquidity providers who work as partners with us to reach clients who primarily are coming on from the corporate world. So we have the big multinational corporates, the asset managers where we have the world's top asset managers using us. We have regional banks who have particular requirements for how they handle their treasury. And we have central banks, governments, government agencies using us. And that is a request for quote stream platform where they can ask for very bespoke requests. They can direct it to multi-banks or to a single bank if they wish. And we also bring them all the workflow tools, all the STP that they require to be able to transact their business. On top of that, we have other choices of execution like bank stream, an anonymous order book, an ECN, a matching book, etc.
So you cover everything, aggregation and so forth, and you build a custom product for the customer. Is that basically?
The application is a fairly standard application that goes out, but we do have the ability to aggregate both bank streams and our order book into one aggregator that the customer can then use with various algo order types sitting behind it.
And do you have an API that people can plug into?
Absolutely. So we both have APIs and we also use Fix.
Right. And in terms of high frequency trading, how do you address that?
We have quite a few high frequency traders. They obviously have very unique characteristics as a trading style, in as much as their amounts tend to be within a certain range, tending to be around about the 0 to 5 million mark. They have obviously a concern where they want to be on the fastest of platforms, so our platform that they're connected to is architected to have virtually no latency.
When you say virtually no latency, what kind of what are we down to in terms of range in milliseconds? Can you put a number on that?
I mean, if you ignore the the traffic time, because obviously we do offer co-location, certainly sub 10 milliseconds these days, even for the most complex of the trades that we're doing.
Right. Okay. And are you capable of executing, obviously, with if somebody comes in with a large order and executing to custom liquidity band logic?
Yes, absolutely. So we've got various order types in the product which enable people to be able to get their order done, and they are able to customize the requirements. So for instance, if they're doing an iceberg, they're able to set some parameters that will vary the amounts, vary the timing of it, etc.
Right. Moving on now to regulatory change and the idea of central clearing. Tell us your views on what's happening in that area.
Well, I think that the situation is a lot clearer than it was previously. So we now know that foreign exchange is very likely to be exempt for the spot and forward swap element of it. For the NDFs and options, it looks as though they are going to be subject to the clearing requirements and will have to be traded through a CEF. We obviously will register as a CEF, and we will offer the tools, and we've already started to adapt the platform so that we can accommodate the change.
For more active trading firms, some providers are looking to combine strategy, research and quant tool sets with innovative trade execution and connectivity solutions to provide even more powerful electronic forex services. How are you addressing the advanced execution needs of these types of customers?
I think basically we recently acquired Lava FX, which is now fully integrated into our platform.
Right.
And we use that opportunity to increase the order types that we are being asked for. So we very much have listened to what the clients actually want to use, and we've made sure that we address their concerns.
And in the high frequency 0 to 5 million range, what kind of spreads are we now seeing, say for example on euro dollar?
They can be very tight. I mean, certainly you can see a choice price quite frequently now, certainly more frequently than you used to do. Mm-hmm. And what's interesting is if the high frequency withdraws because of volatility concerns, etc., we sort of don't see that big an impact. So there's still the core liquidity in the products as well.
Excellent. Right. And what do you see in the next 2 to 3 years as the immediate sort of, as the biggest change happening in the Forex area? First of all, institutionally, and second of all, in the retail area, even though you're not particularly a retail-oriented B2C company.
Okay, so in the the first space, we basically have always offered our clients multiple choices of execution within the one application. We're continuing to evolve that to accomplish what will be required from the regulations. Obviously, we now know the products that are going to be involved, and we're waiting to see the final details on CEFs and exactly what will be required. Then also, I mean, the other important part is what's happening in Europe, where we are sort of looking to see whether perhaps regulatory arbitrage might become a factor, in which case we will have to think about that. But equally, you know, there's areas of Europe where there's the consolidated tape idea, transparency of data, etc. And we actually are able to send all of the messages to any of the venues that are required. So it'll be very easy for us to use our settlement center to be able to send trades to a repository, etc. But we will continue to adapt the product as we see the regulations become clearer as to what's exactly required.
And in terms of your competitors, how do you see yourself in terms of, or whether you see as competition or in terms of the large integrators like EBS, Currenex, Hotspot, etc.? How do you place fxall in that overall picture?
I mean, basically we have, you know, multiple platforms, and, you know, with our active trading platforms we compete with them in that space. Equally, we've got our relationship trading platforms, and therefore we do achieve some economies of scale by being able to use all of the trading styles within one application.
Finally, David, any other closing thoughts on trends in the market?
Well, what we are seeing is that we are representing a very diverse client base, and typically people have put clients wanting to trade a particular style to be allied with particular platforms. We've gone down the route of being able to supply our clients with multiple choices of execution, which will actually dovetail with what their requirements are at the time. So for instance, if we had an asset manager who wants to create alpha out of foreign exchange and wants to trade foreign exchange in that particular way, we can give him our ECN, he can trade away, but then when he wants to do a forward, he can switch over to be able to do a forward on our request for quote stream platform. And by giving these choices, it empowers the client, who does understand what his objectives are, to choose the best execution style for what he's actually trying to achieve at the time. So if he wants to do a particularly large deal, he's able to direct it to a smaller community so that we don't alarm the market about the deal going through and he experiences slippage. And obviously the big advantage is that they're being able to do that on one platform. They have one common STP into their systems, they've got one set of control and audit, and are able to really have the freedom to do what they want to do. And I think going forward, we're going to see people becoming more sophisticated in how they want to execute their foreign exchange. And I think it's important as a platform that we continue to evolve that so that we offer them the choice that is right for them for all of their requirements, not just for part of it.
Right. Well, David Woolcock, on behalf of eForex magazine and the Forex community, thank you very much.
Thank you.